Good evening and welcome to your CVC TV Game of the Week Playoff Edition. That's right, it is the opening round of the OHSAA football playoffs, and we are live in Rocky River, Ohio for a Division IV Region 14 matchup as we see the visiting Perkins Pirates from Sandusky running out onto the field across to the far side to their visitor stands and their family and friends on the other side of the field. We are high atop Alumni Field here at Lutheran West High School, who is the host for this matchup. Lutheran West is the number 8 seed in Region 14. Perkins is the number 9 as we are in the 16-team playoff, extended playoffs going forward. Again, your CVC TV Game of the Week is presented by the good folks over at the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. I am Kevin Arnold. I will be your play-by-play host for this evening, and my broadcast partner, as he's been most of the season this year, AA Anthony Alford. AA, you gotta love playoff time.
Yes, welcome to the playoffs. This is really, really exciting. I think CVC TV won a ladder match, the Money in the Bank, to be here. But I was just saying this. Look, the new season, the feel of playoff football, it's a different environment. It's a different type of environment when you talk about the playoffs. So here we go. Big game, obviously, and the stakes are high. It's win or go home throughout all of the state of Ohio.
Stakes are high. Energy, anticipation is high in the stadium as the Lutheran West Longhorns walk out onto the field through their marching band's tunnel. Down off to our right. Again, we are up in the press box this evening and overlooking this beautiful stadium, Alumni Field, here at Lutheran West High School. On the other side, the visitors, Perkins, again from Sandusky, Ohio. They come in with a regular season record of 7-3. They beat Sandusky last week 21-17. A name you're going to hear a lot tonight, Colin Nemitz, the senior running back, had 33 carries, 211 yards, and 1 touchdown, set the single-season rushing record at the school, last held by Jonathan Souter, and he has now run for 1,842 yards, so almost 2,000 yards on the season. And you look at the other side, Lutheran West did not have a game last week due to a cancellation, so they ended the season at 8-1, giving them the 8 seed, giving them the home field advantage for the opening round. And they come in with a rushing attack as well that is led by Eddie Lewis, who gained 1,500 yards on the season on 149 carries. AA, it is a cold, chilly night here in Rocky River, Ohio. Yes, we have turf, so the field conditions should be pretty good most of the night, maybe a little slicker with the turf, but 2 running football teams is what you kind of want at this time of year in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, 2 running football teams, and you talked about the running attacks and what's going to be needed, and those guys that you just mentioned, again, Eddie Lewis Jr., we're going to see him show out tonight. We're going to see what he could do and what he could bring to the table. What's interesting, Kevin, is that if Lutheran West were to win today, if they get this W today, it would be their first ever playoff victory, period. So this is a historic matchup for Lutheran West, and I think something to monitor as well as the crowd has filled up here. In a region that is predominantly, that's dominant by Sandusky area teams, Lutheran West is one of the lone holdouts from, the Cleveland area in Region 14. The fact that Perkins, a Sandusky team, has to come out to Cleveland, the Cleveland area, Rocky River, west side of Cleveland, to play, that may have some kind of influence on the way this game plays out.
So AA, like you said, Sandusky, since warm-ups, we were down on the field. Lutheran West as well. Interesting approach as they kind of came out in the field. Family, unified, coming out 2 by 2 together, and that is what they have built here at Lutheran West. And for a team that was, with every team making the playoffs last year, they were a 16, 17 seed in this region last year, and now to be 8-1, to be an 8 seed, and hosting a playoff game when you haven't won one before. Perkins coming in, haven't made the playoffs outside of a COVID year, haven't made it when you have to earn your spot in the playoffs since 2015. 2 teams hungry for that playoff action. What are the keys to this one for someone coming out with a W and continuing their season?
Well, as weird as this sounds, I remember, playing in playoff games, and sometimes you're too hyped, for the playoffs. Sometimes that first playoff game, you're ready to go through walls, just to play. And what's key is when you're talking about 14 to 18-year-old kids, especially a Lutheran West team with mostly freshman stars, throughout their lineup, especially on the defensive side, the key is just, what you need to do, keep the nerves down, and just play the game. Just focus on the first possession, Kevin, and when you're able to do that, then you can settle in and play football. Because here's the thing. If you go all the way, this is 6 weeks. Now, this is the longest postseason, period, in all levels of football. So, as exciting as this is, it is very exciting. You got to keep the emotions in check from the jump.
Taking a deep breath, coaches getting their final instructions to their special teams unit. Perkins will kick off. Lutheran West won the toss, and they elected to receive, so they will receive down to our left as we get started here. Just under a minute until kickoff time here in the playoffs. You just feel the energy starting to mount and rise as the kickoff gets closer and closer. Teams coming out, coaches telling them take that one last deep breath. It is still the game of football. It's what you've done all year. Yeah, it's got a little bit more to it, but you got to take it one play at a time. You got to take it one quarter at a time. There's a reason why cliches are so prominent in sports. It's because they are so true.
They work. Every time, they work.
They sure do, AA. And we are just about set to get things kicked off. Teeing the ball up for Perkins will be John Normington Slay, who also doubles as a soccer player. We'll talk about him a little bit as the night goes on. Back deep for Lutheran West on the near side here. Looks like Jamarion Banks. Tough to see from the far side there. Lutheran West in their black uniforms, red numbers, and white trim, black pants, white socks, and we are underway. And Lutheran West will collect that at the 11-yard line, coming here to the near side, to the right, across the 20, up the sideline, trying to get away, and the referee will call him down in the grasp at the 24.5-yard line, and that is where Lutheran West, in those uniforms and those black helmets with the white longhorn on the side, will get things started here this evening. Perkins in their road white uniforms, the black pants and black numbers. Of course, they have the Pirate logo on the side of their helmets. Referee gives the signal of play, and Lutheran West is ready to go, led by their quarterback, Jack LaPointe, who was in the pistol formation. And he's going to come out here to his right, looking to pitch, and he does, and getting knocked out of bounds after a short gain. That is Eddie Lewis, who we talked about in the pregame.
Well, I like this matchup already here because, again, you see Perkins, they're in a 5-2 defense. So when you have that 5-2 defense up front, pretty much the spread is going to be interesting to be able to see how Perkins can defend the spread offense and anything going outside. Again, when you have 5 down linemen up front.
So a few extra moments in the huddle for the Longhorns. They come out. LaPointe will be under center. Shifting receiver to the other side, Banks. And LaPointe will drop back into the pistol again. With the snap, rolling to his left this time, trying to set up that pitch. to Lewis again, and good defense on the edge by Perkins to drop him for a loss. It was 2nd and 8. They'll drop him back for about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Yeah, that was Mike Young there on the outside. And again, when you are defending, that kind of play, that option play, you got to know your responsibility. So, one guy is responsible for the quarterback, and then the other guy is responsible. Usually, the outside linebacker is responsible for the tailback. So it's very well contained on that play, and Perkins able to get that stop there, setting up a 3rd and long.
11:06 to go, opening quarter in week 1 of playoff action here in Division 4, Region 14. As we said, number 8, Lutheran West against Perkins, the number 9 seed from Sandusky, and a botched snap. LaPointe was looking to his right. He thought he already had it, and that one sailed off to his right. Just has to fall on it back at the 10-yard line. A loss of 12, and it'll be 4th and long, forcing the Longhorns to punt.
And he got the pressure up front, but again, just you're talking more so nerves. I mean, that was just the nerves. Let's take a look at it again here. I believe it was on the snap. Yeah, that did it. Yeah, hitting the motion guy right there, and that's what you got to have, that communication, and everything has to work out. It just did not in that case.
So Lutheran West will punt from their own end zone. That almost got blocked. That goes straight up into the air, takes the Lutheran West bounce over their own 30-yard line. It'll be marked out of bounds at the Lutheran West 32, and Perkins comes out on the road in plus territory. Only 32 yards separates them and the end zone on their opening possession of the playoffs.
And it's just, again, just critical. We talked about it before. When you're talking about young kids in a hype situation, little things that you don't anticipate, you have to anticipate. And that's kind of what happened there. And now Perkins, on a short field, has the opportunity to get a big score.
So out comes Perkins. They are led by their sophomore quarterback, Logan Lesh. And getting the signals from their coaching staff over there, you can already see a different tactic to how offenses are going to set up here. Longhorns using the and Nemitz is free up the middle, making guys miss inside the 10, 5, touchdown, 32 yards to get the scoring started. Didn't even let us get the setup on the broadcast before their first possession, and Colin Nemitz gets his name on the scoreboard, puts 6 on the board, 9:55 to go. Perkins 6, Lutheran West nothing.
And we'll look at the replay after the extra point. My goodness, what a start for Perkins, Kevin. Incredible. This kid is for real.
So Normington Slay on to attempt the extra point. Ball down, kick on its way. Flag comes down. Kick was good through the uprights, but we will hold it right here. Looks like encroachment on the defense. Now they kind of stopped play there, so it looks like they're going to have to re-kick this one, and we've seen it this season already with some of those encroachments, AA. Teams have gone for 2, but they'll just go for 1 here.
Yeah, playoff situation, take the point, although, again, it's 2021, and if you Stefanski things here, you would go for 2, but just take the points.
Is Stefanski becoming a verb, AA, as Normington Slay puts it through at 9:55 to go. Perkins leads 7-0.
Yeah, let's look back at that big touchdown run here. And, again, knowing the vision, you just had missed tackles up front. And then the second level, so close there, and just not able to set, there's feet there. And offensively, just smooth, and more so defensively, over pursuing. And when you don't get that opportunity to really clamp down and set your feet and be smart with it, those big plays are going to happen, and this kid is unbelievably fast. I mean, we're seeing it here on the field and just watching it on video. This kid, the speed that he has and the stride too, Kevin, the stride, the way that he opened up, watch it throughout the game, the way that he opens up his runs, that is why he has been a record breaker for Perkins.
Well, the newspaper out in the Sandusky area, the Sandusky Register, has a podcast previewing the playoffs, and they were kind of talking about Colin Nemitz. And it's one thing to see him on tape. it's another thing to see him in person. He's a track star too, and you can already see that. 21 touchdowns in the regular season. Already first touch of the game, he's got one in the playoffs.
You could tell the way that he runs the football that he's a track star. You could tell. He has perfect form. You can absolutely tell.
Normanton Slay has this one teed up again, and Sidewinder, another flag comes out. Looks like some of the special teams unit for Perkins crossed the 40-yard line before Normanton Slay was into that ball. We'll await the call, though, down on the field.
That is incredible, only because I'm shocked that doesn't happen more often. Right? To be perfectly honest, like on the kickoff unit, and here's the call.
Yeah, it is a legal motion, false start on the special teams unit. So, again, guys in front of that 35 or 40-yard line. Now they'll move back to the 35. They're in front of that line before Normanton Slay is actually into the football, ready to kick it away, trying to get that head start. And like you said, AA, it's weird we don't see that more, especially with how close these special teams units are to their kickers now with less of a run-up.
Oh, absolutely. And again, that's going to help Lutheran West, because after their 3 and out in their first drive, maybe they get better field position.
And we already saw they are dangerous on the kickoff return. Normanton Slay into the ball, down to the left side, far side of the field, collected at the 15-yard line, and up the middle. He's got some space across the 35, out to the 38-yard line, and that's exactly what Lutheran West is looking for. Good starting field position at their own 38-yard line this drive, trying to answer the opening touchdown by Colin Nemitz from 32 yards out, giving Perkins the 7-0 lead with 9:48 to go.
Absolutely, and now the key is going to be offensively, getting the timing down correctly. Again, it's tough facing a 5-2 defense because this defense is designed for your rushing offense to not get the second level. So we'll see how Lutheran West going to go about it.
Well, Lutheran West comes out under center in a power I formation, and you can already see the strong arms and tackling prowess of this Perkins defense. That's the second time we've kind of seen one guy bring a Lutheran West player down one-handed with his shoulder pad or the jersey hanging off of the shoulder pad.
Yeah, and let's take a look here because we had a fumble at the end of the play. Got it back, but right there, and that's the job. That's the job of the defensive end, is to contain, and that is the entire point, and did it right there. Lutheran West got to figure out how to contain that. 2nd
down and 10. Lutheran West going nowhere, going backwards. That was Antonio Medina on the carry, but Perkins just blowing through their film study, coming through to fruition to start this one.
Yeah, Zerko getting the tackle there on the inside. And I know this is not the frame of mind here for the Longhorns, and you really can't do it now because it's 3rd and 15. Remember, the last drive, it was a 3rd and 12, and I believe we should have a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like Lutheran West is going to take an early timeout. Coach bringing his team over can see kind of those nerves to start.
Yeah.
They have the home playoff game, getting things settled down. You like that kind of move, and that's why we have so many good coaches here in Northeast Ohio that have the pulse of their team and know how to connect with their players. And we want to thank our presenting sponsor, CVC TV, for bringing you playoff action this week. That is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery with their doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, Jill Weber, and Jacqueline Tomsick. Their specialties include dental surgery, implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, as well as trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That is www.ohsurgery.com. Thank you to the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for their support of the CVC, this community, these student athletes, and the Chagrin Valley Conference. So Lutheran West will come out throwing the ball, and that one gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. LaPointe was looking for Eddie Lewis on a little bubble screen, but that defensive front for the Pirates is showing through already, getting those big mitts up to knock that football to the ground.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Again, the deflection up front. Oh, my goodness. Right there, Yingling, number 81, the defensive end. He's been all over the place there. He made the defensive stop that caused the near fumble and then batted the ball down just now. He is making a true impact there in that outside linebacker defensive end position.
So 4th and 15 for Lutheran West. They will have to punt this one again. And a low side winding punt may have gotten over midfield. The referee will mark it just inside of Perkins territory at their own 49.5-yard line. The first time they had the football, Colin Nemitz, the name to watch tonight for Perkins, went 32 yards to the house on his first touch. 8:31 to go. Perkins still leading 7-0, and they will come out right at midfield. They'll actually move the nose of the football to midfield, and that is where Perkins will start this drive. 8:31 to go, leading 7-0 over Lutheran West. Lesh in a bit of a, when we have a flag already thrown, sideline warning for Lutheran West, too close to the officials. And of course, in the playoffs, all of these rules that are in that rule book are heightened, and these referees are trained to look at all of those things.
Especially the sideline warnings, especially.
Guys are antsy to get in the game. They want to help their team, especially trailing early. We'll see what Lutheran West defense can come up with on this drive. Final signals coming in for Perkins and their offense. Lesh barking out instructions. And we'll get the snap. Fake it to Nemitz, trying to go deep, up over the top, far side, and that ball is caught down at the 20-yard line. That is Jaden Rowe. What an adjustment to that football, and a 30-yard gain down to the Lutheran West 20.
If it holds.
Yeah, there's a late flag coming in there. Kind of hard to see as those lights are shining right down on the field right there, but probably see on our broadcast. Referee standing at that flag. They will wait that call, but good adjustment to the football. And Perkins is moving down. Looks like they were going to call pass interference. Yep, here it is, pass interference on Lutheran West. A little bit of tussling back and forth.
Yeah, let's take a look at how it happened. You knew it was going to be PI of some kind, but right there on the outside, and that's what happens. That's interesting, though, just looking back, because you can argue the pushback, but when you don't turn around and play the football, then, that's the problem. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, you see a lot of defensive backs doing that face guarding, but you got to time it up. You got to read the hands and the eyes of the receiver. Nemitz up the middle, not barely touched again, and he goes into the end zone. 20-yard scamper this time. 3 plays on offense for Perkins, 2 touchdowns for Colin Nemitz, and he has already got 2 carries and 52 yards in this ball game. 7:58 to go, pending the extra point. 13-0. Perkins on top of Lutheran West.
After the extra point, we're going to show the replay. There's a kick-out block that I loved on that touchdown run. We'll show it to you momentarily.
Normanton Slay again on to attempt the extra point. Ball down, kick on its way, and the kick is good. So making your score, Perkins 14, Lutheran West 0, 7:58 in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and watch right here. First off, setting up, getting, the blitzers anticipated. But watch that. Yeah, that kick out right there, right up front, and just turning on the Jets. Just a strong young man and getting the blocks, and again, just the extra speed. What's critical about this young man, he is able, we talk about the yards after contact, the yak. He runs faster after he gets hit. It's actually pretty amazing to see. Now, what's going to be interesting, Kevin, Lutheran West, they have 6 freshman defensive starters, 6. And they've all have been studs throughout the year. But early on, due to circumstance, they've been hit pretty hard here. So, again, welcome to the playoffs. It's that nerves, but at some point, you got to make that adjustment, and get back at it. The key is keep everything in front of you. And so far, that's not happening, through the air or on the ground.
Normanton Slay for Perkins has this one teed up. Back deep again for Lutheran West, Aquarius Bradley and Jamarion Banks. And we'll talk here in just a moment about what Lutheran West can do, but first we will get Normanton Slay and kind of seen every variation of kickoffs, this time all the way across the ground to Bradley, and he's coming all the way to the far side. And a lot of running east and west. Gets out of the tackle this time, trying to reverse field. And Perkins getting their special teams unit down there, rallying to the football. A lot of east and west on these kickoff returns. Not finding the hole, not getting north and south with that speed like you like them to.
I think that's just been the key to the game so far, because we've been seeing also, you saw that in the kick return, not going east to west, or not going north and south. They've been going too much east to west. And then you're going to see now here, Kev, the first two offensive drives has been a lot of east and west. You cannot do that against a 5-2 defense. You have to – I know there's more bodies up front, but you have to attack up the middle, up the field, and, keep this defense honest.
LaPointe going under center, and he will hand to an up man, looks like, is jumping on top of the pile. Perkins trying to get the ball carrier down. Kind of hard to see in that option play, especially when you're going up the middle. That is a tough one to see there, but it looks like Eddie Lewis was able to get that handoff. Only a couple yards, though, so Lutheran West just not finding the room that they're used to out there on the field.
But I would take that. If you're Lutheran West, though, you take that. It's positive yardage. You're beating up the middle. It may not look pretty in the first quarter, but in the fourth quarter it'll be effective.
LaPointe handing off again, and little gain there. It looks like able to push the pile out to the 30-yard line. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 from their own 30-yard line for Lutheran West. A key 3rd down already, not even halfway through the first quarter.
Well, we was mentioning, and again, we were able to talk to Brandon Wolf, who covers, Lutheran West football all season long. It's been great help for us. He's here today. He's like, look, this is a running football team. They don't pass a lot here, so down early, they may be forced to go out of their element.
And they will run it again and able to get the first down. Looks like that may have been Banks, Jamarion Banks, the ball carrier, out across the 35, out to the 37. So 6:26 to go. Lutheran West gets their first down of the game, and that's got to breathe a sigh of relief inside that huddle.
Yeah, between Lewis and Banks, that's the 1-2 punch there. You mentioned in there with Banks, freshman, 6 foot even, 181 pounds, has that, burst of speed there. So, in a pass situation, Perkins was not ready for a quick run up the gut. And Lutheran West, those are small victories right there.
Again, the handoff and able to break a tackle, trying to get through. Banks again. Good, tough running by Banks up the middle. Able to break out of a tackle. Seen him do that on the kickoff returns as well. And he pushes that one out to the 44-yard line. Gain of 7. Be a 2nd down and 3 with 5:40 to go. Lutheran West trailing 14-0 early in this ball game.
And, Kevin, you just saw here on that replay the fight that you were just talking about, just being able to push through. And what's critical in plays like this, it's the offensive line as well, just continuing to push, throughout, all the way through the whistle. That's going to be critical here as Lutheran West working their way back in the game.
Yeah, they're just staying in this same formation. That time, Perkins was ready for it, may have been able to push for a yard out to the 45, but now you can just see LaPointe under center and then almost pinching 2 wingbacks inside behind that offensive line, and he's got that option between either one to hand off.
He does, and this is what you want to establish. And my thing is this: as long as this drive doesn't end in a turnover, this is a successful drive for Lutheran West, because what you're doing is you're playing the field position game. So even if they don't get this 3rd down and they're forced to punt, at least create that field position game, and you give yourself an opportunity. You help out your defense, who needs to help as well.
And look at this formation. We got 3 running backs they can choose from, with a fullback and 2 running backs off to the side, but stretching that play out. Perkins getting over, no gain on the play, may have even lost a yard, getting the initial hit for Perkins. That was Weston Sturzinger. Excuse me. That is a tough name to say. Say that 5 times fast, AA. But
no, I pass.
Okay. Well, I'll just I'll keep that over here then.
Keep that on that side of the booth.
Yep. Sturzinger, though, I mean, a good initial hit there, stretching the play out. Lutheran West have not set the edge when they're trying to go east and west.
Yeah, but they're going to go. It looks like they're going for it right here, though, Kevin.
So they will go for it, and Lewis will get the carry, and he is going nowhere. Flag comes in late, what the call is, but Perkins was up to task on that 4th down. It was 4th down and 3, and Lewis lost another half a yard on that play.
We'll see what the penalty is going to be.
In there, because the offense looks like they're staying out there. But we're just awaiting the call.
And if that's true, that's going to be a 1st down for Lutheran West.
It is. Personal foul, face mask, yep. So on the tackle, good eye from the back judge to see that in the midst of that scrum. Perkins got great push from their defensive front as they've done all first quarter already. But that, grasping the face mask, that gives Lutheran West new life.
Yes, it does. And, again, that's what happens when you attack the interior. You work tackle to tackle. I know it's not pretty, but it works. It works. And you put your will on that defensive front.
So 1st down and 10 at the Perkins 41-yard line. First time Lutheran West gets to be in their opponent's territory. But, again, every time that Lutheran West tries to get out on the edge, Perkins is there to meet him.
It's just not going to happen. I mean, it's just, and I know it's one of those things you got to keep the defense honest, and that is true. But there's just so much speed on the perimeter, from this Perkins defense that, again, like you said, Kevin, every single time Lutheran West tries to go on the outside, it's just not going to happen.
LaPointe, the quarterback for Lutheran West, 3:51 to go, opening quarter, trailing 14-0. Banks on the carry that time, may have gained 2 on 2nd and 10. Give them 3 down to the 38, so it'll be 3rd down and 7 to go. They'll mark it 3rd and 8 on the board, but again, another 3rd down and long situation. Lutheran West, they're not really going to shy away from the run most of the night.
No, that's their DNA. This is what they do. This is what they do. They're going to offensive line's going to win the football game. So we got to stop us a play, and they're going to really enforce the sideline thing. We'll talk about that during the broadcast. They're going to really enforce the sideline warning. There was another one there.
Some motion to start this one. Power I formation coming on a little end around and going nowhere again. This misdirection, Perkins is staying home, and Lutheran West in this chess match is going to have to find something that maybe they didn't put on tape very often this season that Perkins isn't ready for, because every single play, Perkins is ready.
And that was Winston there, number 50, big man senior up there making that play, Kevin. And you're right. It's just, the speed on the outside between both ends, between the linebackers, it's impeccable.
LaPointe in the shotgun, looking to throw, trying to get out of there. He will throw that one, and that one's caught, trying to push for the first down, and he gets it. My goodness, what a completion, what a conversion. LaPointe was being just about to be sacked, just tossed that one up there, and receiver bringing it down with one hand, catches it, and drags 2 defenders across the first down line.
How in the world did this play work? First off, you got a collapsing pocket. Good way to step up in the pocket. That should have been a turnover. That's no way did that play work. Incredible catch. And Lutheran West converting 2 unbelievable 4th downs.
We'll see if that ignites this offense for Lutheran West. The crowd is energized. Student section going crazy, and they'll throw again, and it's complete. Inside the 20, inside the 15, be dragged down just over the 15-yard line to the 14 of Perkins, and now Lutheran West has found a little spark, but we do have an injured Perkins player down on the field.
Yeah, we do, and Diaz, who made that play. Let's take a look here, and they've been running, committing to the run. Diaz with the cuts there, protecting the football, and Lutheran West just moving. Kevin, this drive was not supposed to happen. With the face mask penalty on their first fourth down, and they were able to convert, and then the circus play on the second fourth down that they were able to convert. I mean, special things happen in the playoffs. You can't explain it. We just have the cameras to show it, and boom, it just happens.
First down and 10 at the Perkins 15-yard line. In the power I formation this time, Eddie Lewis on the carry, dragging the defenders, trying to push for that 10-yard line. He'll get down to the 11, a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. And AA, you go back to that last conversion on the throw, getting Perkins kind of on their heels a little bit. Emmanuel Diaz, but known as Manny here, he is their leading receiver, has 337 yards coming in on the season, and you know, they're a team that's not going to throw it very much. They only have 450 yards on the season, but those are the plays that can keep Perkins off balance.
And again, when you run that 5-2 defense, once you get to second level offensively, you don't have much resources.
Pitch out to the far side to Eddie Lewis, trying to get the corner, looking for the first down marker. Be interesting on the spot. He's right at that 5-yard line, and it will be a first down and 10, first and goal. 32 seconds left. Lutheran West trailing 14-0, but knocking on the door on this drive.
And when you mix it up and when you're able to go, all over the place here, this is what Lutheran West, this is what these fans, are used to. And also, Perkins, Sandusky, Perkins Township, they're getting that wake-up call right now. Skating on the road, this creates issues. And Lutheran West, they have to capitalize here.
32 seconds left. First and goal from the Perkins 4-yard line. Power I formation. Fumble on the play. Flag comes out. May have been maybe fortunate to pounce on that one. We've kind of seen that ball security a little loose from the Longhorns already this evening. But we'll wait the call from the officials. 21 seconds left. As of right now, it is second down and goal, bringing in some extra offensive linemen while we await the call.
Yeah, let's take a look here once again of what happened. Just not able to get the handoff, Lewis. And I think, he should. Yeah, they have it back. But just the mishandling of the handoff.
And my apologies, that was not a flag on the field. That was the orange beanbag that they started using last year in COVID times to see that a little bit easier.
All the colors look the same, Kevin. It's okay.
I'm colorblind, so I'm legitimately colorblind, so yes, they do. And that time, not blind to the end zone was the freshman Jamarion Banks. He saw the hole, hit it, and goes in from 4 yards out to cut the lead to 14-6 Perkins, but that has got to feel good if you are a Lutheran West Longhorn fan and if you're down there on that sideline.
Incredible, and everyone watching us live, thank you for watching. When this is posted on the replay on YouTube and on ChagrinValleyConference.com, go back and watch those 2 fourth-down conversions because it was incredible. And
the extra point is up and good. So they cut the lead in half. Does Lutheran West? Quarter buzzer sounds. Perkins 14, Lutheran West 7 at the end of one quarter play here in Division 4 Region 14 opening round playoff action on CVC TV. Can only bring you CVC TV thanks to our sponsors and our partners. The Chagrin Valley Conference this season is proud to partner with FRST, First Response for Sports Trauma Course and Physicians Ambulance. Through this important partnership, FRST has helped prepare our first responders on the sidelines and throughout the league to consistently and expertly respond to trauma on the field. ChagrinValleyConference.com. And we want to thank our opening round playoff action. Perkins High School, the Pirates from Sandusky, Ohio area, traveling to take on the Lutheran West Longhorns here in Rocky River, Ohio, just west of Cleveland. We stand 14-7 in favor of Perkins after 2 touchdown runs from the Banks, getting a 4-yard touchdown run on second. Kickoff will go out of bounds, though, so that will give Perkins, good field position to start. But this will be the first time to start the second quarter, AA. First time they're actually going to be in their own territory and not knocking at the door or even inside Lutheran West territory to start a possession.
And that will help the defense. It'll especially help the two-way starters from, offense and defensive side of the ball. And again, you play the field position battle. We talked about in the previous drive where Lutheran West scored, we were saying get that, end of drive with the kick. And once you're able to do that, you have the opportunity. They did there to kick the extra point. And this is going to be something. How can they respond defensively? We're going to find out here, Kevin.
We will find out as Perkins comes out for their third possession of the game. Logan Lesh, again, the sophomore quarterback for Perkins. Final instructions being given to his offensive line.
We got man coverage on the outside.
Looks like Lutheran West was showing pressure. They back out, and Nemitz is free again. He's inside Lutheran West territory, across the 50, inside the 40, inside the 35, pushed out of bounds, just shy of the 30-yard line at the 31 of Lutheran West. Boy, he already had, before that point, he had 2 touchdowns on 3 touches. Almost broke another one.
Yeah, well, and again, just we look at the replay here, over pursuing. That cannot happen. And getting sucked in as well. That's why offensively, Perkins spread out Lutheran West. I mentioned the man coverage for that exact reason. You got to keep everything in front of you, Kevin. If you don't, it's going to lead the big runs like that.
Nemitz will remain in the backfield in the pistol formation right behind Lesh. At quarterback, Nemitz will get the carry again, and he's got a cut inside the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Perkins Pirates. Again, 5 carries, 3 touchdowns, that one of the 31-yard variety for Colin Nemitz. I mean, putting on an absolute show here this evening.
Can't miss tackles. You miss those tackles. That's exactly what's going to happen. There was 2, maybe 3 opportunities to get the stop, and it just did not happen.
Normington Slay, the kicker for Perkins. Low snap, ball down, kind of a wobbly kick, and that one goes wide left of the upright. So 11:15 to go. Perkins leads 20-7 over Lutheran West. Colin Nemitz, not.
Yeah, let's take a look real quick here, Kev, at the replay as it's set up. Lutheran West made the right call defensively. Got to set your feet and make the tackles. That's really what it is. If you can't make the tackles, open up the stride and score. That's really what it is. The play call's there. Get guys in front, get the guys in position. Just got to set your feet and make the tackle.
Nemitz, like we said, putting on an absolute show. If you look at his touchdown runs alone, those 3 carries, he is already at 83 yards alone on touchdown runs. 3 carries, 83 yards. You just don't see that. This is CVC TV after all. We do cover, and we are the home for Chagrin Valley Conference action here on CVC TV. AA, Lutheran West, what can they do defensively to try to slow it down? Because they may get a slight touch on Nemitz, but for the most part, he's running free.
He is, and maybe, perhaps not showing the blitz look, just running a standard, base defense. Maybe that'll help. But again, that last play, that was the right play call. The play call was right. You had guys in position to make the play. You got to make the play. You cannot be nervous and slow down there. You got to, you're in position, just make the play.
So a wobbly kick across the ground again. These kickoffs are getting shorter and shorter. You almost get the feeling that maybe Perkins is setting something up, but they've gone shorter and shorter on these kickoffs, and Upman just covers it up around the 30-yard line of Lutheran West, and that's where this possession will begin. But interesting to kind of see that it's something small and probably maybe looking too much into it, AA. But, you see a lot of these high school coaches using the kickoff as part of their chess game.
Yeah, they are. And just that, that extra 30 minutes of practice per week, special teams, and that's what they kind of work on and such. So you do have an interesting point there because we've seen it all year long with the kickoffs.
LaPointe under center. Looks like Banks may have gotten that carry, pushing for extra yardage. And
they should have some yardage coming up here with what we think will be a face mask.
So play stops, 11:03 left in the opening half. Perkins Pirates on top of Lutheran West, 20-7, and another face mask penalty. So that's the second of the game, and that'll give Lutheran West another first down. And we saw how that kind of sparked their last drive. We'll see if Lutheran West can use it again.
Yeah, let's take a look here, see if we can spot the face mask. Oh, yeah, you can. And, just can't let that happen. And Perkins, I'm sure right now, is saying defensively, you gotta stop these penalties. But that's not Lutheran West's problem. You take full advantage.
Take full advantage of everything. LaPointe has the ball this time, kind of faking the handoff, taking one of his few carries of the night, pushing the pile 3 yards down to the 45. So 2nd and 7 coming up, 10:35 to go. But Lutheran West trying to find some sort of, they found rhythm on the last drive by throwing the football.
And I think they have a better mix now. I like LaPointe. I like his decision making. I liked it on the last play there. Again, when you run this type of offense, you may only get 2-3 yard gains. That's fine as long as you can expand the defense.
Yeah, it's triple option look, and Banks breaks a tackle. He's inside the 30. He's clear. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Jamarion Banks from 45 yards away. But there is a flag back at the 46. Holding on Lutheran West will bring that one back. Boy, that was the big play that Lutheran West was really looking for to really try to seize that momentum.
Wow, yeah, and that's tough. That's a tough break right there because that was impressive. That was an impressive run by Banks. But yeah, tough break, and yeah, Kevin, that's like the walk of shame walk right there. It's going to walk all the way back there, and yeah, my goodness. I will say this, though, even though that was a penalty, that is why the option play, that's why it works. When you make good decisions, I know like the 2-3 yard gains, with a bunch of traffic, they look boring. They don't look like they work, but they are working because when you get positive yards, you create openings. And Lutheran West has found a way to create those openings, and if they can maintain and keep that up, then they're going to stay at pace here offensively. I think they're going to be fine.
2nd and 17 now from their own 45-yard line. LaPointe will take the snap, hand off, and a couple yards up the middle. And we're going to take a look at the hold from the last play here as we will be set with a 3rd and 15.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Right tackle, it's the play. Yeah, right there. That really set up there the big run. I will say this, though. The stride, the running from Banks, he opens it up as well. And I like what I've seen from that young man. But again, lucky there on the outside, with the penalty. And it's tough. It's tough being up there in the line because anything goes up there.
3rd and 15 for Lutheran West from their own 47. Coming out to throw, LaPointe has his man, but good open field tackle across the field for Perkins, knocking him out of bounds at the 49. So only a gain of 2, and it'll be 4th and 13. Lutheran West will bring their punting unit back onto the field.
Yeah, and for Lutheran West, that was unfortunate just because of that big run by Banks and the offense being able to set it up. But the offense, these last 2 drives for Lutheran West, looks way better than it did to start the game. And you keep that going. You keep that momentum going, and have this defense moving around a little bit. That's good. That's perfectly fine.
4th and 14. Lutheran West will punt this one away. 8:18 to go. A much better punt from Lutheran West that time. That takes a Lutheran West bounce down the sideline. Not sure if it hit the sideline or not, but they say it stayed in, and that is down inside the 10 at the Perkins 7-yard line. Lutheran West defense have to take advantage of this field position that their punting unit has just provided them to come out onto the field for.
Yes, they have, and they have done that. If I can, we could explain, and it's going to be a little bit tough here, but earlier in the game, he was mentioning like the sideline warnings. So on the sideline itself, there's a blue line, like right on the sideline, where the guys have to be identified and have to be behind. If they're not at that blue line, each side, right there. So those players have to be behind that blue line, and assistant coaches. If they're not, these officials are instructed to enforce the sideline warning. You don't see that a lot in the regular season, but in the postseason, you see that a lot.
Nemitz with another carry, and good run to the far side. Gain of 5, out to 12. Thought I saw a face mask on the sideline.
I thought I did too. Yeah, I thought I did too. Take a look here, and yeah, they didn't get it. They didn't get, but Lutheran West, defensively, get a lucky break there.
Nemitz with his shortest run of the night for 6 yards. It will be 2nd down and 4 at the 13-yard line, but a timeout will be taken by Lutheran West. Their 2nd of the half. They will be left with 1 the remainder of the 7:31 in the 2nd quarter. Tonight's action on CVC TV is brought to you by the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery. They are this year's title sponsor for CVC TV. Their practice, as we said earlier, will diagnose and treat your facial pain injuries, offer you a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery for all of your oral and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That is ohsurgery.com. And AA, if people out there watching the game, tuning into us this evening, are interested in sponsoring CVC TV and bringing more of this action, whether on the football field or any other playing surface, how can they get involved? How can they sponsor CVC TV?
Go to ChagrinValleyConference.com. They got everything you need. Everything you need to get it all taken care of, ChagrinValleyConference.com. Also, Chagrin Valley Conference on YouTube as well. If you do go to the website, ChagrinValleyConference.com, 14 CVC teams in action this weekend in the playoffs, so get to get all their scoring updates as well.
Yeah, we'll try to get those scoring updates later on for you, but Nemitz is free again. Up the far sideline he goes, taken down just shy of the 40-yard line. May have reached that ball across, and they'll give him a good spot there at the, one judge was coming up trying to spot at the 42. Rightly, one of his referee compatriots has him spot that football back just a couple yards. And that one actually gets moved back now 4 more yards at the 36-yard line. But 1st down and 10, Nemitz on the run again. Pistol formation this time for the Pirates. Nemitz right behind Lesh. And flag comes out. Encroachment is the early call on Lutheran West. Wasn't much movement, but standing over the football. And this side judge down here on our near side has been attuned to all of the infractions, especially along the sideline. So 1st down and 5 now from their own 41-yard line. Perkins with Logan Lesh as their quarterback. Nemitz in the backfield. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 near side here. That's Yingling. Lesh looking to throw, getting some pressure, heaves it down the field, and trying to go down to pick that one up was Jaden Rowe, but going short, getting good pressure was that Lutheran West defensive front.
And what's been amazing is because there's only, if you're going to be honest here, Perkins hasn't ran that many offensive plays, throughout the game. So we haven't really seen much at all what they could do when they have to pass the football. So you see it there. Lutheran West able to create the pressure, and that really affected. That was a jump ball, down the field, and a dangerous pass.
Pistol formation this time. Lesh getting the handoff to Nemitz and gets rocked right at the 40-yard line. They'll give him forward progress out to the 42-yard line, so gain of 1, 3rd down and 4. But that is what the coaching staff from Lutheran West wants to see when Nemitz has the football.
Yeah, once you get that first contact, stay with him so you can get help. It's hard to bring Nemitz down, so get that first contact so that way others can jump in and help.
Pirates will spread the formation out, send 2 receivers here to our near side, 2 far side. Still in that pistol formation with Nemitz and Lesh. Lesh looking to throw, getting some pressure, gets hit from behind as he was trying to throw that football. Arm going forward, so it'll be an incomplete pass, but good job by Lutheran West to get in and not allow Lesh to have any time to set.
Yeah, and good pressure. Let's take a look here and how this was set up there. You didn't know who was coming. You had the safety coming in as well, and, coming from behind, making that play defensively, getting different looks. And now Perkins punting the football coming up here.
First punt of the night for Perkins, and that one just goes straight up into the air. Bounce at the 39-yard line of Lutheran West, and bounce out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. They'll mark it back at the 34-yard line. Some discrepancies in where to spot the football all night long, but that is where Lutheran West will take over. And as you said, AA, Perkins punt. First time we said that tonight. That's a win in itself for Lutheran West as they tried to build on their touchdown drive just a couple drives ago.
And I think we had to fact check ourselves because, wait a minute, yeah, they're going to punt the football. They're going to punt the football. And you're right. Just now we got a football game. Now there's a football game because once you could, open up that playbook, now Lutheran West rather has confidence.
So the option look, Banks on the carry, breaking through, pushing the pile out to the 50-yard line midfield. Jamarion Banks has been the spark plug for this Longhorn offense.
Yeah, Banks, he's been able to come through. Let's take a look here. The line getting the push, and Banks just being aggressive up the field. And he had two defenders on him, and he dragged an extra few yards after the contact. Great work there.
Again, in this triple option kind of look, Banks alone in the backfield. Good jump cut inside the 45, right down at the 45 of the Pirates from Perkins High School. 5:36 to go. Lutheran West trailing 20-7, but putting a drive together. Runs of 15 and 5 for Jamarion Banks on this drive.
And let's take a look once again. Just look at that push from the offensive line and also the second level, and getting those looks there and just creating those opportunities. Good work again for Lutheran West.
Banks will be in the backfield again, bringing an extra offensive lineman in as a fullback. Banks will get stopped right at the line of scrimmage and be pushed back. He may get spotted for a loss as well as he had come out of the grasp of the incoming defender and try to reset on the run.
Yeah, let's take a look here. We'll see if he got a good hold of the ball. I don't think he did, actually. Right there in the handoff. No, yeah, it slipped right through there in the handoff. And that's been a story. And again, when you're aggressive coming out of the blocks there, running the football, sometimes, getting that a clean handoff is tough.
3rd down and 7. Banks will get that couple yards back for Lutheran West, but it'll bring up another 4th down inside plus territory. We've seen them do the Stefanski model, the Kevin Stefanski model of going for it on 4th down, trailing 20-7. Hard to see anything different here.
Yeah, and here it would kind of be justified because you're at midfield. If it doesn't work out, you're still in good position. But for Lutheran West, I'll say this. We've seen 2 4th down conversions in weird circumstances and an opportunity right here.
Lutheran West staying to what they know, coming out in the same formation. LaPointe under center, hard counting, almost got Pirates to jump. And it looks like they were trying to get the Pirates to jump, and I think LaPointe's own offensive line went early there before he even got the snap. There was actually a delay of game, so just trying to get them to jump. Takes the delay of game, 3:31 left. Perkins on top 20-7 in this opening round playoff matchup in Division 4, Region 14. And Lutheran West will come out to punt once again.
Yeah, and that's interesting there again. But you played a field position game. This is what I was talking about before here. You know, you got a close football game. You know, Lutheran West down 20-7. So you think here you set up the punt.
Interesting formation, but they will punt. And again, another stoppage in play.
I believe it might be a timeout, maybe.
Might be a timeout. Nemitz keeping those legs loose down to our left.
He even hits high knees like a track star. It's incredible. As a former track. Wow. Yeah. So think about this, Kevin. So Lutheran West. Oh, did they get it? Oh, they changed the call.
So it was, what we thought was encroachment is actually it's a false start in that interesting formation that Lutheran West came out of, almost trying to get Perkins on their heels. But now you're going to push your own team back a little bit further. You got to hope for another good punt to push Perkins down the field. You also only have one timeout here, Lutheran West. Perkins with their full complement of timeouts with all three. 3:28 to go, still leading 20-7. Punt is away, and kind of a little bit of a hitch there, but boy, this punter has got this turf down to a T, punting to the sidelines, and it just takes that bounce and just rolls straight parallel to those sidelines.
I'll say this, though. He was lucky because Keller, number 24 for Perkins, he was right there. If he would have leaned forward, that was a block waiting to happen right there. So, you're right, though. Sorry, getting the punt off, playing that field position game. I'm a little hesitant on these delayed punts. It seems like it's intentional. It's something that they want to do to get that ideal setup. But that might have been costly, and Lutheran West able to escape.
Pirates first down and 10 at their own 22. Nemitz on the carry. He'll be tackled after a short gain of 2 out to the 24. It'll bring up a 2nd and 8. 3:08 and a ticking second quarter clock.
Yeah, and again, defensively, they're getting more hats to the football now. So, you want to get, again, that initial contact. We talked about last drive. Get that initial contact and wait for your teammate to get over and follow up and complete the tackle.
Lutheran West showing a little bit of pressure. They will back out as Greg Fuentes was showing a little bit of outside linebacker pressure. But as they back out, looking to pressure again, and Lesh looking to air this one out and almost picked off. Good defense on the far side against one of the leading receivers for Perkins, Jaden Rowe. Good job to get the hands on the football. If he could have turned around, may have had an interception.
And that ball sailed up in the air there, so good read there on the outside. And I like how he jumped for the football. When you're the cornerback, you're able to jump for that football. They teach DBs and receivers that all the time. You don't wait for the ball to come down. You reach up for the football. And he did that right there, setting up this third down.
Lesh all along in the shotgun this time. They're going to go 5 wide, 4 here to the near side. Nemitz tucked inside of those 4. One receiver, one-on-one on the far side of the field. Lesh looking to his right. He will get some pressure, gets away, gets the ball in the hands of Nemitz, and he gets a first down across the 30 out to the 34-yard line.
And for a team that, again, is looking to double up because they're going to get the ball first to start the second half, escaping that pressure and finding that underneath receiver there, getting the first down. Good find. And that's frustrating for Lutheran West because you did everything right. You literally did everything right, but just couldn't finish the job. And Perkins able to continue to drive here, coming up on 2 minutes to go in the first half.
And in no rush here, letting some time come off the clock. They know they have the 3 timeouts. 2 minutes to go. They'll spread things out again. First down and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Lesh, screen out here to Rowe, and he will get across the 40 out to the 45-yard line. It'll depend on the spot. He might be a half a yard shy of a first down, so the clock will continue to roll.
Yeah, and Diaz on the free safety, making the open field tackle, a tough open field tackle. They're going against a big body like that. But again, I like how Lesh, the quarterback, I like how, when he's at the line, he's communicating at the line pre-snap. Okay, blitz is coming here at the top. Blitz is coming from the linebacker position. Look this way, block that way. He's doing a lot of pre-snap plays there.
Minute 15 to go. Nemitz in the clear again. Inside the 40. Ball on the turf. Bounced right back up into his hands. That was a moment Lutheran West was looking for, but fortunate bounce off the turf, and it is a first down and 10. Clock stops for the chains to move.
Yeah, again, getting a kick-out block there. And sometimes, we talk about it in sports. You just see it there in the replay. Sometimes luck matters. The ball bouncing a certain way.
58 seconds to go. Lesh in the pocket, and he is going to go down for the sack. Lutheran West bringing pressure all quarter long, and finally they get home.
Boy, did Lutheran West need that, and it's going to be a timeout for Perkins. My goodness, Kevin. I mean, you want to get that pressure and create it, and they are getting the pressure. It's just a matter of finishing, in that situation there. And it's important now because, again, as we just mentioned a little bit before, Perkins is going to get the football back, to start the next half. So with the 2 timeouts, if Lutheran West, if they're able to get the stop here, field goal kicks are not guaranteed tonight. So if they're able to get the stop, that's going to pave the way here for Lutheran West, especially in the second half, where defensively has been some issues.
It'll be interesting to see what their kicker's distance is, if they're not able to get more yards here. It'll be 2nd and 11 at the Lutheran West 39-yard line coming out of this Perkins timeout. But John Normington Slay, again, plays soccer for Perkins. They just had a district final last night.
Wow.
That was the furthest that the school had ever gone in the soccer playoffs, and they won 2-0. And Normington Slay had an assist in the game. He came into that game with 11 goals and 8 assists. So they move on. They continued their long run into the regional semis, and he comes right back out the very next night kicking in a playoff game, the first appearance for his school since 2015, helping make history.
I always wonder as they're looking to their calls, multi-sport athletes, especially the save season, how that pays off. You have to have unbelievable time management to pull it off.
Lesh rolling to his right, looking downfield. He will throw back across. He's got a man open. That's Rowe, and if he's able to secure it, he does. Touchdown, Perkins. Boy, what a throw. What an effort by the defensive back to try to knock that one away. But the concentration from Jaden Rowe to haul that one in from 39 yards out. They put 6 more on the board. 39 seconds to go. It is 26-7, Perkins Pirates.
Yeah, good play there, and Rowe really identifying with his quarterback to make that happen. We'll look at it momentarily. Good stuff.
Normington Slay, as we just mentioned him, only has to come on for an extra point. He does put that 1 point on the board, making it 27-7. 39 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, let's take a look here. First off, rolling out to the right side. And again, that ball was settled a little bit in the air, but able to reach for the football, make that play. And it's a tough defensive assignment. You know, the height disadvantage, it's a little tough. Ball placement was on point, so receiver helped out. Perkins getting the touchdown.
When you look at their roster for Perkins, Jaden Rowe, who is, of course, a wide receiver. We just saw him catch that touchdown pass, but he's also on the defensive line. That is a junior who is 6'4", 200 pounds, and we've also mentioned Tyler Yingling a lot on defense, but he's split out wide a few times on offense. Plays along their offensive line. He's 6'6", 220, but they're coming with this speed and athleticism. Maybe not something that Lutheran West has seen all season, because coming into the night, Lutheran West, their only loss was to Kirtland, and you don't feel so bad about losing to Kirtland because 50 other schools or 49 other schools in their 50-game win streak have lost to Kirtland since their last loss in the Division VI state championship back in 2017.
That is an interesting point. Just if you go through the whole season, you only lose to Kirtland. Is it really? It's a loss, but is it really a loss?
Kickoff this time. Normanton Slade goes through the hands, either Banks or DeQuarius Bradley, one of the two that they've kind of set back there all night, taking that weird skip off the turf. You can kind of see the rain we've had all day. While it is turf, you can kind of see the moistness to this field here at Alumni Field in Rocky River. So kickers are taking advantage on kickoffs and punts. We've seen them take advantage of those bounces. They're getting the extra slickness to this turf. They're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and it was more profound last week when we was in Middlefield for the Cardinal game. But yes, always on the hash marks, you kind of see the slickness, on the field, and you definitely do notice.
LaPointe will come out throwing this time. He's got a completion here to the near side. That is Kelly Conway. Quick hitting play, gets out of bounds, stops the clock. They only have one timeout left. They got to go 80 yards to get a score here, and they're 2nd and 2 at their own 28. LaPointe quickly back under center. Heaves this one, little air under that one, and incomplete, out of bounds, was not able to get the 1 foot in bounds. So bring up a 3rd down and 2, 27 seconds on the second quarter clock.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they, continue on the pass here, or if they're just saying, so we're going to have a stoppage of play. I believe it's good. Yep, timeout for Perkins.
So Perkins will take the timeout. Kevin Arnold alongside AA Anthony Alford here on CVC TV for the opening round of playoff action. Lutheran West, the Chagrin Valley Conference representative in this one, the 8 seed in Division 4, Region 14, trailing the visiting 9 seed from the Sandusky area, the Perkins Pirates, 27-7. We've had 3 touchdowns from star running back from Perkins, Colin Nemitz, 3 carries, the 3 touchdowns totaling 83 yards alone, and he's had some big runs since then as well. The 1 touchdown for Lutheran West, a 4-yard run from Jamarion Banks, who's been kind of the spark plug for their offense all night. But coming out 3rd down and 2, LaPointe will just loft that one up over the top to Banks. He gets out of bounds across the 30, and that'll be a 1st down as well, so they'll move the chains. But more importantly, clock stops for getting out of bounds.
And there's not any time left for Perkins to get the football back and perhaps get a big score.
Again, back to Banks here, and just these quick hitting out routes out to the sideline, picking up a few yards, but also stopping the clock, trying to maybe set up a chance to heave one to the end zone or have Banks or one of these playmakers on the outside break a few tackles.
Only took 2 seconds off the clock, too.
18 seconds left. 2nd down and 4. LaPointe looking to his right. across his body back to the middle of the field. A difficult throw, and that one spiked into the turf.
Yeah, and that play taking 4 seconds off the clock. And I mentioned the time off the clock just because if you're going to make that effort here to drive down the field late, at some point, you're going to have to make bigger chunk plays because time is of the essence.
3rd down and 4 for the Longhorns. LaPointe looking left. Now he'll roll to his right, being chased. He will throw this one down the sideline, and that one is caught. A hands catch, a quintessential hands catch down the sideline, but 5 seconds left in the quarter. Good big play from the Longhorns.
And a good play on the quarterback side as well, going on the outside and making that fine and getting the play there. Incredible, incredible find. That is a tough play to make on the field. Great work there for the Longhorns to make that play.
The Longhorns will take their final time out of the half. 5 seconds left. They will have a 1st down and 10 at the Pirate 32-yard line. One chance for the end zone, and you already saw decent throw there from LaPointe, so he can definitely get this one to the end zone. You're going to have to keep that pocket clean, though.
And for a team that is a rushing football team that has had to pass the football a lot, throughout the year, that play in this drive gives some confidence for this team. This is what they're going to have to do in the second half. Gives this team some confidence in the second half, like, hey, maybe we could do this. Maybe we could hurry up, throw the football down the field, open it up, and make plays.
We're actually going to have a field goal attempt. Ball will be marked down at the 39-yard line, making this a 49-yard attempt into the kick, end over end, and no good. It had the distance, but goes off, just off to the right. And with that, that ends the first half of action here on CVC TV. Your score at halftime: Perkins Pirates 27, Lutheran West Longhorns 7. AA Anthony Alford and I will be back for all your second half action. First, we will give you both marching bands, the Pirate Marching Band from Perkins, who is also a contest band and will put on a show for you. And then the Lutheran West Marching Band will come onto the field second. Until then, again, your score: Perkins 27, Lutheran West 7, here on CVC TV, presented by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. We'll be back in just a little while.
Good evening and welcome to halftime. Up next is the Perkins High School Marching Band. The Perkins High School Marching Band presents their 2021 halftime show, Together We Rise, featuring the music of Andre Day and Macklemore. The band is under the direction of Field Commanders Timothy Wensick and Gabe Cummings. The show features soloists Kaden Canfield on mellophone and Matthew Chagrin on alto saxophone. Our 2021 auxiliary captains are Alyssa Wood, Caitlin Schultz, and Isabel Roberts. Please put your hands together for the Perkins High School Marching Band.
Yeah, I have nothing. So.
Sandusky.
band versus football team. Who wins?
Keep up with Ohio High School Athletic Association tournament bracket scores. Twitter, and YouTube. Connect with the OHSAA so that you can stay.
You know this is playoff football. A little chilly now.
Welcome back. High atop Alumni Field in Rocky River, Ohio at Lutheran West High School for your CVC TV Game of the Week Playoff Edition, presented to you by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Once again, Kevin Arnold alongside AA Anthony Alford, and we are here for Division 4 Region 14 action in the opening round of the Ohio High School Football State Playoffs. Lutheran West, the number 8 seed, trails the visiting Perkins Pirates from the Sandusky, Ohio area, 27-7 at halftime. A half that saw Colin Nemitz run wild for the Pirates all over the field. 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half, totaling 83 yards alone. Already over 100 yards for the game. And then a 39-yard strike from Logan Lesh to Jaden Rowe to end the half puts us at 27-7. Jamarion Banks, the freshman running back for Lutheran, the lone touchdown there. Perkins Pirates will receive the second half kickoff. AA, what was the message from both Perkins, Coach Santoro, and then, of course, Coach John Perella of Lutheran West? What was that message inside that locker room?
Well, starting with Lutheran West, Kevin, I'll just say this. I think early on they had a lot of trouble stopping the opposing tailback, with the missed tackles. But they adjusted, and they said, hey, let's get multiple hats to the football and go from there. I think defensively, you just got to be on your P's and Q's. Adjust. Do everything that you need to do. Offensively, you're going to have to go out of your DNA and pass the football. Like the last drive, they're able to kind of move down the field. Unfortunately, it led to a missed field goal at the end, but they were moving down the field. For Perkins, you just got to keep on the attack. The moment you let Lutheran West back in the game, it's going to be a game. And I honestly think, for the exception of the initial possessions, it has been a good game. But it is playoffs. Anything can happen. So here we go.
Here we go indeed. Lutheran West getting the ball teed up at the 40-yard line to our right. Perkins will receive. Colin Nemitz back deep for the Pirates. He does have one kickoff return touchdown this season. And in the regular season coming into tonight, Colin Nemitz was doing it all, from receiving, kickoff returns, running the football. It's a guy that...
A little quick, watch the onside kick here, Kev. It might be coming.
As Lutheran West special teams unit are all kind of right next to each other, what would look like a potential onside kick. And into the football, and they will just kick this one away, and that one again goes out of bounds. So they've kind of showed some of these looks. They showed a fake punt earlier in the ball game. They showed a potential onside kick to start this half. But when they've been able to kick off, they're kicking off out of bounds, and they're giving Perkins extra yardage to start their drive.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. Like, on the special teams front, keeping the balls in the back. And the key is, again, and we've been showing it, our camera guys, we've been right on it, it's the idea of field position and maintaining good field position. And once, again, when that doesn't happen, Perkins is going to start with a short field.
So they'll come out at their own 35-yard line, 1st down and 10 to start this second half, back in the usual pistol formation. The quarterback, sophomore Logan Lesh, flanked behind him by that senior running back, Colin Nemitz. As we said, 3 touchdowns already, and inside over the 40, across the 45, down at the 45-yard line. Quick gain of 10 on 1st down. It'll be another 1st down for the Pirates.
Yeah, that only should have been a gain of like 1 or 2. But again, you had a missed tackle. Look at this, going up the field and just a missed opportunity there. And that's another thing. The play calls have been on point. You got to make the tackles. And when that does not happen, you're not setting your feet. This kid is just so explosive. Nemitz, he is explosive on the inside. And, he's going to make you pay. And that's exactly what happened there.
11:25 to go. Pirates 1st down and 10, now at their own 45-yard line. Nemitz with a jump cut. Only gain a couple this time. Better pursuit to the football by the Longhorn defense. Gain of 2 out to the 47. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And for Burns, after what happened on the previous play, he made up for it, being right on it there defensively, making the play. On the stop there, it's like, look, that's on me. I'm gonna get back and make the play defensively.
Lesh awaits the snap in the pistol. We saw this in the first half, and before we could even make mention of a double-A, Nemitz was running for 32 yards to the end zone. But you see Lutheran West, they kind of have the traditional huddle. Pirates, they have more of that traditional now spread offense where it's kind of look for a big loss back to the 37-yard line. Make that the 38-yard line. A loss of 9 on 2nd down.
And again, and this is what's critical, when you get past the line of scrimmage, you're able to get that pressure, not over pursuing the quarterback or the ball carrier, able to get that, breakdown and make the tackle. They talk about that defensively, especially in the secondary. When you get that tackle, you get that.
The pressure, setting up the screen to Nemitz. He catches at his shoestrings, and he's off to the races. Across midfield, down at the 47-yard line of Lutheran West. They will give him the 46. He needed the 45. So it'll be a 4th down and 1, gain 17 on 3rd and 18.
Yeah, we got the replay right here. This kid is explosive. The stride is unreal. And you just see it right there. An incredible play. We got a 4th and short coming up here, Kevin.
And they'll spread them out. 3 receivers here near side, 2 to the far side. Tried to hard count. Lesh will bring Nemitz back into the backfield. Longhorns show some pressure, and Lesh dropped the football, and that orange beanie comes out, and they get the stop on 4th down. Lutheran West gets that defensive stand they needed. Lesh coming up under center quickly. A quick snap, a fumble of the football, never able to gain any traction, and Lutheran West brings them down.
And he tried to sneak one in there, obviously, the pre-snap, and again, not able to get that handle under center. This crowd has something to do with it as well. So defensively, the crowd showing up, the defense showing up, and now Lutheran West getting that stop, back on offense now for the first time this half.
You can feel this crowd, double-A, waiting to explode here on the near side. Good traveling group for Perkins. Another face mask on that tackle, going nowhere, but 3rd time tonight, Perkins, while they are getting the pressure, they are controlling that line of scrimmage. the penalties are giving Lutheran West life on their offensive possessions.
Yeah, it's giving them life throughout this game. Take a look at this. You know, it's just, again, it's just, there it is. I mean, just that penalty right there. And Lutheran West with the opportunity here to push. And again, for a team whose identity is running the football, and obviously that was a run, but I like to see more of them operating out of the gun, operating in passing formations. I thought Lutheran West did a great job with it the last drive before halftime. I think they'll have some success with it here.
Pistol formation now for the Longhorns. Pitch out to Eddie Lewis. Coming right side, pushing for that 40-yard line.
Lewis, the ball carrier.
May have gained a yard back to the line of scrimmage at least, so it'll be a 2nd down and 10. AA, our conversation in the first half was Lutheran West is trying to get out to the edge. Perkins is having none of it.
Having none of it, and that's Lewis. That's his bread and butter, and it just hasn't happened. And again, good film study on the part of Perkins. They know, okay, you know, Eddie Lewis Jr., he's the guy. You know, he's the guy that you're going to have to stop and contain here. But a good 1-2 punch, you know, for Lutheran West here. So we'll see here if, you know, we'll see Banks at some point as well.
Lewis will be behind LaPointe. And that pistol, he fakes the handoff, rolling to his left. Just going to have to get rid of it. Heaves it up, and it's caught. A short gain, but it's still caught for the jump ball. Gaining a few yards just to keep life going on this offensive possession. Down to 37, gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6, 7:22 to go. Lutheran West trailing 27-7, but boy, these big plays just keep happening, even if they don't go very far.
Yeah, that was a very exciting, what was it, a 3-4 yard gain with that. But again, you don't take the sack in that situation. That's one of those places like, no. Okay, cool, that worked. That was good, it worked. We'll take it.
Looked like LaPointe wanted to throw it out of bounds, couldn't get enough on it, just went straight up into the air. And Lutheran West able to come down with it, and a good pitch this time to Lewis. Gain a couple. Most likely we'll see Lutheran West go for it. You're down 20. We're almost already halfway through the 3rd quarter. You have to start thinking 4-down territory is a must almost at every spot of the field.
Yeah, I think it's no question at this point, especially where they're at right now, would be, you know, close to a 50-yard field goal if they were, you know, the kick here. So, you know, go for it. You take your shot. This is the playoffs. This is win or go home. This is what it is. And, you know, Perkins traveled well. You mentioned it earlier, Kevin. We're going to see who's going to be able to show up here on this 4th down.
Power I formation this time. 4th and 5. Fake the handoff. And overthrow. He had his man. They had the play they wanted. And LaPointe just overthrows his intended target, Greg Fuentes. A great route and just not able to complete it. He is beside himself coming to the sideline.
That is unfortunate because we just got it here on the replay, and that's just very unfortunate there, Kev. Unbelievable.
Almost like he was throwing as if Fuentes had ran his route 2 yards deeper instead of where he was. So 6:45 to go, turnover on downs for the Longhorns after they get the initial stop, and it's still 27-7 Perkins. Lesh will bring his offense back out. 2 receivers either side of the line. Nemitz in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. Break out of a tackle, but then be pushed out of bounds. Good pursuit. Fuentes, who had just ran that route, coming back to make a play for his team.
Real quickly, just to go back to that last 4th down, is there such a thing as if somebody's that wide open being overly excited about the play? Is that a thing? I've seen that in the past, you know, all across football and across sport where somebody's so wide open, you just can't believe it and you miss it.
I mean, how many times you watch Twitter videos or videos of guys that practice in the NBA shooting 3-pointers and making them wide open? In a game, they're so wide open, they brick it.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
I think
they stopped the play.
Yeah.
I did hear the whistles. and then the crowd kind of got excited a couple seconds later. You're starting to see this defensive line. They found something at halftime, it looks like, with Nemitz. He's been able to break loose a little bit, but nothing like in the first half, gaining a couple yards a carry at this point.
Break it down, getting to Nemitz, and even because it's tough, because as a defender, you want to be the one to make the tackle. You make the contact, you want to be the one to actually make the tackle. In this case, this young man is just so powerful, lower body power too, that you just make the contact, wait for the teammates to come too.
3rd down and 6 from their own 40. Lesh with the throw, overthrows his man. Looking on this near side for Drake Venerucci. And looking at Lesh, they're the team that has the ability to stretch it downfield. Lesh came in with over 1,700 yards passing. That time it almost needed to kind of put a little air under it, put a little too much mustard on it, too much straight line speed on that throw.
Yeah. You want to know what kind of vibe I'm getting right now on the side of Perkins? That clock could not hit 000 fast enough, to end this game. Got a delay there on the punt, delay punt.
Yeah, Venerucci on the punt, and good bounce for Perkins. That'll go out of bounds. Might be marked inside that 25-yard line. Yep, at the 22, and that is where Lutheran West will begin this next possession. And as they come out to the field, I want to thank everyone who is tuning in tonight on CVC TV, and we can't thank the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery enough for all their support to help bring these live streams to you every single week. Their doctors, Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, Jill Weber, and Jacqueline Tomsick, will help you with dental surgery, implants, corrective jaw, facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. We've said the website several times tonight. Go ahead and visit them, ohsurgery.com. That is www.ohsurgery.com. We thank them for all of their support. Jamarion Banks will get the opening carry of this possession, pushing the pile 3 yards out to the 25. It'll be 2nd down and 7, and that clock just continues to tick as we get under the 5:20 mark to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and we mentioned the clock early here in the 3rd quarter because, again, it does become a factor if Lutheran West can get that score. The key is, though, Lutheran West getting that score, getting that first score. Can they do it? Can they make the drive down the field? They're driving, but can they finish the drives? That's the key.
2nd down and 8 from their own 25. Banks gets stopped in the backfield. Nowhere to go. Good pursuit on the edge. It just seems like a broken record at this point, Double A. And trying to stretch it wide, and a Perkins defender is right there in front of them.
Yeah, they're handling containment there on the outside there, and Lamar Everett, handling that on the outside. And again, we mentioned before, just the speed on the perimeter, and that's what you get. Again, we mentioned it in the first half. When you're going up against a 5-2 defense, it's very difficult to get past first level. Where Lutheran West has had success is when they're able to go over the top and get beyond that first level because there's very few guys past the 5-man front.
Screen pass out into the flat. Across the 30, out to the 32-yard line. They needed 11. They needed to get to the 33. They're going to be a couple yards shy. Now they're deep in their own territory. Interesting call here, but you have to think 4-down territory the rest of the night.
It has to be. This is not a regular season game. This is your season. This is what you got to do. As you mentioned before, clock is an issue even at this stage of the game. So down 20, gonna have to make it happen.
Kind of want to see them do a little bit more of what they just did on that 3rd down play. More of these throws out in the flat, allow your running backs to get out there. And they have that make them miss type moves. Get them out there. LaPointe will carry this one himself around the left edge. Finds some space on the outside and pushes his way out towards midfield. Finally, Lutheran West finds some success on the edge.
Yeah, and credit Eddie Lewis for setting the edge there on that play on that corner. And, you know, let's take a look here. And this has been an issue all night as far as setting the edge of the corner, but they got that block. And number 7 there, Eddie Lewis, was able to seal, you know, up there on that left side and set up not only a 4th down conversion, but a big play getting deep here in midfield for the first down.
3:31 to go in the third quarter. Perkins Pirates on top 27-7 in this Division IV Region 14 opening round playoff matchup. LaPointe sidearm throw in and out of the hands of his intended target. Looked like may have been going on the inside of the slot there. Manny Diaz, who, you know, again, their leading receiver, got to catch that football.
Yeah, just nerves there, and he knows it. You know, he knows, like, hey, that's on me. You got to make that play. He had a big slant play earlier back in their lone touchdown drive. So he knows, you know, just make that play. I would not be surprised if Lutheran West at some point went back to him.
More importantly for Lutheran West, with that incompletion, the clock stops. 3:20 to go. LaPointe again will take it himself around the edge, and LaPointe is the one finding that success on the edge, just faking the handoff, keeping it himself, and getting a chunk yardage on first and second downs.
And Eddie Lewis, again, along with the lineman of, you know, Perkins is zeroed in on him running the football. Lewis has been more so Banks getting the football. But Lewis still out there making plays, doing the dirty work to make his team successful.
Now a little wildcat formation, Jamarion Banks. The 40-yard line, I don't think he got there. I may have been lucky enough to get back to the line of scrimmage, setting up a 4th down again.
Yeah, good contact there up front there. Stu Zinger, let's take a look here, see how it happened here. It's going to be forfeit short. Meet him at the contact there. Good form up front and making the play there for Perkins. But I'll say this here, Kevin. Hands on the hips here for Perkins across the defense. This is huge here for Lutheran West.
Huge, and LaPointe took it himself. There was a stoppage in play. Ball was set. May make them do this one again.
They can't just stop unless.
Can't tell what the referee is signaling to LaPointe out there. Looks like may have been a signal for a mouthpiece not being in properly. That's keen eyes that you got out there on the field if you don't see a mouthpiece in there. Unless it's one of those ones probably attached to the face mask and easily dangling down there, making it easy for the referee to see that.
The one thing, again, though, OHSAA officials, these are not conference officials, you know, like we've been seeing, of course, all season, the CVC and throughout high school football. So they have to be sticklers to the rules, like flat out here.
4th and 1. Lutheran West with the football, trying to push for the first down. Depends on the spot, and they are not going to give it to him. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but that was it. Perkins defense, AA, you said hands on hips. They found that next down in one plays. Get the turnover on downs.
Yeah, let's look at the replay here. By the way, Banks is limping. We'll get to that in a second. Just meeting on contact, and again, just the mouth guard situation, which again, late call with that. So a huge transition of the game, and Banks is down.
Yeah, Jamarion Banks was limping around, of course, playing both ways for Lutheran West, and just not able to keep going, goes down to a knee. And the University Hospital's training staff, medical staff here at Lutheran West quickly out to attend to Banks. And we say it every week for those just tuning in, if you are a fan of Perkins and just tuning into our broadcast for the first time this season, we are so lucky in this area, in this region of the country, or especially in Northeast Ohio, for the great medical systems that we have here in Northeast Ohio.
I just can't. I know it's the right thing to do. I know, you know, the mouth guard, all mouth guards, you know, you can't be loose, everything like that. Lutheran West had the first down. They had it. They had the first down. And, you know, to again, I know it's the right thing to do, but just to stop that play once the ball is snapped. And I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. It just doesn't.
It doesn't sit well with me either. Double A, as a good hand for Jamarion Banks, who comes over to the sideline under his own power. It was the first time really all night that we saw Lutheran West go quick, because even down 27-7 as they are right now, 2:08 to go in the third quarter, they're still huddling. They're still getting in that triple option formation and kind of slow pacing the offense. Next time they get the ball, and defensively they're trying to get the ball back as quick as possible, you got to go quick now. There is no the sense of urgency has got to be ramped up. Perkins can chew as much clock as they want, or they can. Nemitz chewing up more yardage out there on the field and breaks away inside Longhorn territory across the 45, close to the Longhorn 40-yard line. Gain of almost 20 on that play.
Yeah, for a Perkins team that's trying to get their first playoff win, I believe, since 2015. My goodness, I mean, just the way that their offensive line is operated, and this young man, in the backfield, operating. And we talked about multi-sport athletes dominating, and track star here just getting after it, just going. Just a burst of speed. And you can't even tell that he's going ultra fast, but he really is.
He's 5-7 yards downfield before he's even touched. Nemitz again has a lot of space in front of him, just bouncing off of tacklers, but a flag does come down. So this one could be coming back, and a play that Lutheran West is hoping comes back to put them from 1st and 10 to 1st and 20.
Absolutely, yes. You're going to get that walk back here with the hold.
Holding against Perkins.
I'll say this just to put a bow a little bit here. The job of the officials is like, when you cut grass, right? When you're landscaping, you never get credit for good landscaping. But when your grass is not cut, there's always an issue. With that. It's the same with officiating. People are like, oh, the officials should have like a post-game press conference. Like, for what? You're not going to say, like, great holding call there, sir. How did you come to that decision? This is not going to happen. It's a tough job. So I commend the officials for doing the job. There's no way I can do it.
Yeah, that might be the least exciting press conference you'll ever see. Why was he holding? His hands were holding on the outside.
Yeah.
Nemitz coming to the outside, around the edge. Gain of about 5, getting the ball back inside Longhorn territory. Actually be a gain of 6 down to the 45. So from 1st and 20 to 2nd and 14.
So no mouthpiece, and again, the officials, and that's what it was there. Okay, yes, so that was on. All right, thank you. That was on the 4th down on the official. Let them know about the lack of a mouthpiece, just right on it.
Lesh back to pass, going deep down the far side, and leaping up over the top. Mossing his defender is Jaden Rowe for a 45-yard touchdown grab, his 2nd of the night. Flag flies for the celebration in the end zone, but 11 seconds left in the third quarter. Perkins extends their lead 33-7 over Lutheran West. Just big basketball player going up, outreaching his defender, coming down with it, and there was just green turf in front of him.
And again, just the power. Receivers are taught this, and DBs. You have that drill, reach for the football. You don't let that football come down to you. You go up there and you go get it. You grab that football. And the thing that we've seen all game long from Perkins, the explosive plays. Let's take a look here while we're waiting for the call here. And again, just a good deep ball. And now watch this. Watch this. Reaching out for the football, reaching up, grabbing it. And when that happens, there's nothing you could do as a defensive back.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for that celebration in the end zone. But, I mean, you'll take that. That'll be assessed on the kickoff. But, I mean, a play like that, you understand the excitement of the young student athletes. So Slay's extra point goes through the uprights. 11 seconds left in the third quarter. Perkins extends their lead 34-7 over Lutheran West.
Look at this one more time. As a DB, you play there's nothing you can do about it. There is nothing you can do about it. When your receiver, you have the size disadvantage, your receiver reaches out for the football, and that was a great replay by our team here. You know, when you reach for that football, look, that's what you're taught. I mean, that is what you're taught. And great route, great ball, great pass, made the play. And after the turnover for not having a mouth guard, we showed the replay about a minute or so ago, the official telling the player, you got to have that mouth guard in, and didn't happen. They had to stop that play. Turnover on downs, and Perkins driving for the score, Kevin.
Yes, it might be something small, AA, but Lesh has a good arm, but the ball is kind of hanging up in the air tonight. And, you know, the first play where Jaden Rowe wasn't able to adjust to it, the DB made a great play to knock it away over there on the far sideline. On those two touchdowns, Rowe has really adjusted to the way the football is hanging up in the air, and especially in that last one, when he high-pointed that football before the DB could even get up because he played it perfectly. Rowe understood where that ball was going to hang up, how it's going to come down, high-pointed it, and the rest, just easy picking to get in the end zone.
That's a hard football.
That is a hard football indeed on this cold fall night here in Northeast Ohio. Picking the ball up inside the 20, getting it out across the 25. So Lutheran West will come back out for this next possession. 1 second left in the third quarter, and another Lutheran West player down on the ground. I believe that is DeQuarius Bradley this time, who is down in the middle of the field. So we still have 1 second left in the third quarter. We will allow the training staff to attend to Bradley out there on the field as you see his Lutheran West brethren, his teammates, down to one knee, of course, showing that concern. Never want to see any injuries happen.
Yeah, both sides taking a knee there, Kev.
Yeah, and that's the type of sportsmanship that you want to see. Yes, both teams trying to move on. They're trying to continue their seasons, but still understanding the important things out there on the football field. So taking their time to attend to Bradley. We will actually update the scores from around the CVC. Scoreboard indeed. The Perry Pirates are on top of the Northwest Indians, 42-0. That game is in the fourth quarter. Lakeside Dragons are trailing the Hudson Explorers in the fourth quarter, 42-6. Kenston Bombers all over the Harvey Red Raiders tonight in the third quarter, 38-0. Here and VASJ, Villa Angela St. Joseph, I believe under the direction of Coach Rotsky.
Yes, that's
Jeff
right.
Rotsky now,
that's
who
right.
you know well, AA.
Yep.
They are on top 37-7 over Hawken. Here in Rocky River, Ohio, Lutheran West is trailing Perkins Pirates 34-7. We have 1 second left in the third quarter as Bradley is slowly making his way under the guidance of the training staff and his coaches to the sideline. He was on that return. Don't ever want to speculate on any injuries, but the tackle kind of getting twisted around there cannot feel good. So we'll have one play to finish out the third quarter here. And Perkins has really seized control of this one, AA.
Yes, they have. And again, with only 1 second left, this is basically an untimed down here.
LaPointe throwing it out into the right flat, and
Pass is incomplete.
looked like Diaz was going for the just straight go route, while LaPointe was looking for him to kind of flatten out and get a few yards, maybe get out of bounds as well. So we head to the fourth quarter here at Lutheran West High School at Alumni Field. Perkins Pirates on top 34-7, looking to move on to round number 2 in Region 14 of Division 4. Lutheran West looking for a comeback here in the fourth quarter to win their first ever playoff game. They've made it 3 other times before, have not been able to win a playoff game in their history. They are the 8 seed. Perkins is the 9 seed, and you are watching on CVC TV. Thank you to everyone who is tuning in. We want to thank our other sponsor, FRST, that is the first response for sports trauma course, and Physicians Ambulance. The Chagrin Valley Conference is proud to partner with them. Through this important partnership, FRST has helped prepare our first responders on the sidelines and throughout the league to consistently and expertly respond to trauma on the field of play. We want to thank Physicians Ambulance and FRST for keeping our CVC community safe. For more information, visit chagrinvalleyconference.com. The point getting the ball out to Banks, who's up the far sideline. A little high step across midfield, and a flag comes out late from behind the play. Not sure if they saw a hold or what. We'll wait on the call, but that's the kind of plays maybe Lutheran West would love to have implemented a little bit earlier in this ball game.
Yeah, but I think you're going to get that hold. I think you're right on it. And Everett, for Perkins, he was down for a little bit of time. He got back up. But, yeah, everyone's walking back. And it's tough. It's tough when you get that big play. We saw it earlier with Brown. Remember, he broke loose. We thought he scored, and then it was a holding call at the line of scrimmage earlier in the ball game. So it's tough.
So back to a 2nd down and 9 from their own 27. LaPointe will be flanked by Eddie Lewis on his right hit. LaPointe looking to throw. Looking right, still rolling. Sidearm throw going down to the ground to pick that one up before it hits the turf. Fuentes. And then now the side judge will give the incomplete signal. Been a lot of, we kind of talked about the officials a little bit, AA, spotting of the football even, and, kind of what each one is calling. These Ohio High School Athletic Association officials almost like trying to get their season going as well.
Well, yeah, and that's a good way to talk about it because they're going to be together for 6 weeks.
LaPointe out to Banks and being ridden out of bounds. A little bit long there. They allowed that play to go on and heard the whistle, but
go back to the mouth guard thing again because that's where the tide kind of turned around in this game. And right after that, earlier in the last drive in that third quarter, that mouth guard, Perkins was able to drive down the field and score. So, again, you're seeing this is what the playoffs are about. Every little thing matters.
So Lutheran West will now punt. 10:37 left, trailing 34-7. And this punt will, again, just roll parallel to the sideline, take a Lutheran West bounce inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. And that is where Perkins will come out and most likely going to see a heavy dose of Colin Nemitz and this run game for Perkins.
Yeah, and this is the point here. It's tough because, nobody wants to punt in that particular situation, but also you have to keep the score respectable as well. And if you figure, okay, the offense is, needs a little bit of time, kind of left for dead, defense maybe gets you an opportunity because the offense can't convert, and Perkins puts up a 40 spot here. You're in running clock territory, and then the game wraps right then and there. So
looks like we have a change at running back for Perkins. Jet Tome comes into the ball game, and that ball's taken away. That is Banks with the football, and turnover. Lutheran West, a little bit of life. Over 10 minutes to go. That guy we've been talking about all night long coming up on defense now, Jamarion Banks, just ripped that football away, taking advantage of the fresh legs coming in at running back for Perkins.
And on the that was just a straight rip. That was a straight rip, right there. And I guess somehow, some way, we just explained why you punt the football down, in a blowout situation. Here's the slow-mo of that. And this is why it's important to have multiple hats to the football. If any coaches need to see that replay, because when you have multiple hats to the football, you create opportunities to grab that football and get the turnover.
LaPointe will throw, and that one gets intercepted. It bounces off of his intended target. That was Greg Fuentes, who had in his hands, bounced off of his face mask and back into the hands of Caden Wire for Perkins. So back-to-back turnovers now. Defense is now making the play in the fourth quarter.
And, because it just went off the hands of the receiver, that was just basically ball got to the right place if you're Perkins, and that's just been that kind of night. And for a Perkins team, they're a phenomenal football team, obviously. Impressive coming all the way from Perkins Township in Sandusky, Ohio, making the hour drive here to Rocky River. What a performance. And Perkins 10 minutes away from going to round 2 in a very, very tough Region 14. Van Warp, who's in this region, they're defending state champs.
Lesh coming out to throw. He'll roll to his right, signaling to his receiver to come back to the football, and he does. Drake Venerucci had one go over his head, but there is a flag down back at the 25-yard line. So as we await the call, everybody's making the steps back, so that play will be coming back. Holding against Perkins, so it'll be a first down and 20 now for Perkins. But you see, even as a young guy, Logan Lesh, a sophomore quarterback, Perkins, that football program has got to be excited for their future. They want their present to continue here in this year's playoffs. But boy, with Lesh at the helm, being able to, in his sophomore season, pass for over 1,700 yards, and just this connection he has with these receivers, the communication with his offensive line, it is a well-run system for such a young quarterback.
Yeah, and I like, too, how the amount of times, almost every play, he communicates at the line, identifies all the blitzes, and he adjusts on the fly. He's phenomenal at that.
Miscommunication on the handoff with new running back coming in, as Lesh, being the leader that he is, letting Tome know, hey, this play is supposed to come off my right shoulder. Going to be faking it to my right. You got to be there. Can't go to the left. We can't have these kind of miscommunications. Got to stay mentally tough and engaged the entire time.
I got a score update to give you after this play, Kevin. There's a tease. It's a big tease.
Yes, and flag comes out. Encroachment on the defense, so that'll give 5 yards to Perkins. They were second down and 22, so it makes it a little bit easier as the referees make sure the clock operator stop the clock for this flag. We are not under the 30-point rule with a running clock. 27-point lead for Perkins, 9:08 to go now. They run the clock, second down and 17 at their own 23. Lesh takes the snap, will hand off to Tome. Breaks through the middle. Actually, that is Lamar Everett getting a carry. A little bit of speed, and it'll set up a third down and 10, 8:47 to go.
So, the winner of this game faces the winner of the 116 matchup between Bellevue and Edison. I'll give you a score update of that 116 game after this play, Kev.
Third down and 10. We await that score. Lesh gets the snap, throwing deep down the field, trying to hit Rowe again. And a lot of contact down there, but a low throw, and Rowe just being bracketed by 3 defenders that time. That's what it's going to take to kind of keep him from high pointing that football or breaking through and catching that football. Double A, your score update.
So in this 1-16 matchup, expanded playoff, right now, Edison is up 23-22 over Bellevue with a minute to go in the game. And the Chargers, as this punt here, they went for an onside kick and a flag as well. They went for an onside kick and they got it. They got it back. So this expanded playoff, talking about all these these teams don't deserve to get in. We may have a 16 beating a 1.
That would give Perkins a home game next week.
Yeah, and
so I mean, a team that, I mean, you look at their schedule and the conference they have to go through. It's a juggernaut out there, and yeah, we don't get to see a team like Perkins a lot, but you see how battle-tested this Pirates team is in all phases of the game. And in most years, they'd be the 9 seed thinking, why were we left out? Why were they the 8? Why were we the 9? Why were we left out of the playoffs? This year in the 16, they get to play, and you might earn yourself a home playoff game.
It's official. It's official. The 16th seed just beat the 1 seed.
That is insane, and I'm sure once they get into the locker room, there's still business to attend to, though. 8:08 to go here in Rocky River. Perkins on top 34-7, but Lutheran West with the football in their traditional power I formation. LaPointe will swing this one out to Eddie Lewis, who's trying to find that corner. And their leading rusher, Perkins, has bottled him up the entire night. They've had to go to Banks tonight to kind of be that change of pace, someone that Perkins didn't see a lot of tape on.
Yeah, and again, that's just what you do. You zero in on your best player, and it's easier said than done. It's always easier said than done, but they have Perkins been on lock defensively on the perimeter up front. Not as much on the pass defense side, but again, the bread and butter for Lutheran West has been the rushing offense all season long.
And they'll stick with that rushing attack, and Lewis again just not going anywhere on 2nd down and 6. Maybe a half a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Longhorn offense.
Yeah, just real quick to put a bow on that score update, because, we have heard people, throughout, the state talking about why is the playoffs expanded? Why is this? Why is that? First of all, the kids like it. First of all, these kids are enjoying the experience of playoff football. And number 2, playoff football, anybody can be beaten at any given time.
Any given Friday night under the lights, that's for sure, Double A. Lutheran West just going back to their rushing attack here, trying to maybe find something, and I know some young guys are coming into the ball game, getting them not just varsity experience, but under the brightest of bright lights here in week 1 of playoff action, getting them experience. Because Double A, you really touched on it earlier in the ball game. They got some young freshmen defensively, but some young, talented freshmen that got a lot of good experience this season.
Yes, they did, and these are all lessons. We talk about it all the time. It's unfortunate that it's not going to come away, with a W, but these are the type of games you do remember. This gives you motivation when you go into, the off-season weightlifting program, when you go into whatever winter, spring sports that these kids participate in, because, look, you're going to remember this. You're going to remember how this game, you had it, and it got away from you.
Double A, you're going all Coach Ty Lue on me with those wins and lessons instead of wins and losses.
Well, the difference, though, is that this actually has a purpose.
Yes. There are actual lessons to be learned in this kind of circumstance. at the pro level, when you got $38 million professional athletes on the team.
Yes. Well, I like Ty Lue. His problem was you can't say that wins and losses don't matter in the NBA. Like, the fact that he said that after LeBron left, they was like 0-10 to start the season. Yeah, you're going to get fired. Like, you can't say that. Think you're going to be successful. No, but he's doing a good job with the Clippers.
Doing a good job with the Clippers, and Coach Santoro for Perkins is doing a great job with this program. And we will have a timeout for Lutheran West. They will take their first one of the half. They will be left with two with 5:25 to go and trailing 34-7 to Perkins. Again, thank you everyone who has tuned in live all night long, or if you are catching the replay on ChagrinValleyConference.com or the Chagrin Valley Conference YouTube channel. And these types of games, these types of production and streaming cannot happen without our sponsors, and the title sponsor of CVC TV this year, I've said it many times, you see them in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Their practice will diagnose and treat your facial pain, injuries, offer you a full range of dental implants, along with bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's www.ohsurgery.com. And AA, you mentioned in the first half, people want to be like the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery and have a role, sponsor CVC TV. What's that website they can get more information at?
You go right to ChagrinValleyConference.com. Unbelievable website. You can check it out. Everything that's going on, including the CVC Athletes of the Week. Throughout the fall season, we start to transition into the winter season with your basketball, wrestling, all those fun things. So, again, you want to be a part of this, ChagrinValleyConference.com. Also, Chagrin Valley Conference on YouTube. And you can be a part of all of this.
Tome on the carry. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Clock will roll, 5:15 to go. You mentioned those winter sports, AA. You might even see something like swimming on CVC TV. We did the CVC championships last year here on CVC TV. So not just football, many other sports that you'll see coming up with the winter sports on the horizon. But both schools and so many schools around Northeast Ohio and the state of Ohio trying to keep their fall seasons going, whether in soccer, volleyball, and here in football with the playoffs just getting started. Week 1, Perkins Pirates on top of Lutheran West 34-7. Tome on the carry, plenty of open grass, but because of a hold along that offensive line in this run, we'll come back as the clock stops with 4:28 to go.
And I want to give kudos as well. CVC TV showed the cheer championships as well. The cheerleaders were featured all throughout the conference. They had that at Perry High earlier in the week. So congrats to all the cheerleaders as well in the Chagrin Valley Conference. So, a conference right now, you got 14 football teams that are able to experience playoff football. Several teams will compete tomorrow night, divisions 5 through 7 tomorrow night. So this conference and, the entire leadership of this conference really displaying like the media side of things. These kids love to be just showcased and featured. And it's not just football. We show the marching bands every halftime. We show them. We show the cheerleading championships, all the sports that you mentioned. So it's just incredible.
Tome on the carry, trying to get back that penalty yardage, which he does, back out to the 35, so it'll be 3rd down and 10. Now, AA, we're going to get to it here in a little bit because reality is starting to set in. 3:48 to go. The emotions when it's one and done in the playoffs, the ultimate high of moving on, the ultimate low of having your season come to an unfortunate, abrupt end. You want to know how much it means. May not have seen it on the broadcast. We'll get to that story here in actually.
You're going to see it throughout. You're seeing it now.
The guy that we've kind of talked about a lot for Lutheran West, their freshman running back, Jamarion Banks. We have a fumble.
And Lutheran West got it back.
Yep, Lutheran West gets the turnover. So fourth quarter, a tale of turnovers, you might say.
That's right.
But with Perkins
I think we'll burn the tape for the fourth quarter. I think the coaches will.
I think they will too. Not tape that, especially as you're continuing to build a program, if your season does come to an end, not something you're going to use to kind of help drive that program building. But getting back to the emotions, Jamarion Banks and his dad or at least one of his family members sharing a special moment down here on the track. What it means, Jamarion Banks gets to come back next year and help Lutheran West get that playoff win. As LaPointe is going for it all in the end zone. And what a grab over two defenders. That's a heck of a way to make a statement here late in the ball game and capitalize on a turnover. 32 yards to Kelly Conway from Jack LaPointe. Now that you may not want to burn on the tape there, AA. Maybe too quick to burn the fourth quarter tape. 3:02 to go. Lutheran West cuts it to a 34-13 deficit.
And for Conway, he's a junior. So next, he's going to remember this game, and he's going to remember that play, and he's going to come back as one of the leaders. So the extra point is good. He's going to come back because he's like, look, I know what this is like. Let's take a look at the replay here. Good protection, too, there up front there. And great catch. Great play all around. I think, Kevin, you said it right. I mean, it's barring some miracle here. You got 3:02 left here. But, look, you got an entire student section who stuck around. You got parents. You got the band. You got supporters, classmates. This is a community thing. And, and there's no sugarcoating this. It's not a good feeling. It's never a good feeling. And almost every team, other than teams who are going to win a state championship, there are going to be hundreds of playoff teams who end their season with a loss. And it's never a good feeling because all the time in camp, in the classrooms, just being around each other, these more than their own family members with the amount of time that they spend throughout the year. And for it to just hit and for it to end right now, it's tough. And there's no way around it.
Being covered. He is inside the field of play, though, acting kind of coy, whether he's here to the near sideline. And they'll try to have Banks recover that one, but Bryce Gropey, the place kicker for Lutheran West, another kick out of bounds. That's 3 or 4 that have gone out of bounds, so that ball will be placed at the 35-yard line for this next possession for Perkins. Lutheran West with 2 timeouts, Perkins with 3, 3:02 to go. Perkins on top, 34-14.
One thing that you do like to see, though, in situations like this is, teammates consoling each other. You build a brotherhood, doing this. And, heck, our team, we've been together for pretty much, the whole way around. You build that commodity, you build that all together.
Tome falls forward for a yard. You're right, AA. There's a reason why sports podcasts or anything like that at the end, I'll say, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. Now, we know life matters more and there's more important things in life, but to those that love sports and have that as a big part of their life, it's because it's more than just the sport that you're seeing. It's more than just a game. It's family, it's bonding, that are so impactful for young kids like this.
Yeah.
Good tackle for loss for Lutheran West there. And Lutheran West is going to should take a lot of pride. It's going to be tough to see what kind of pride they can take in this season, but they are CVC. No one can take away that they are Chagrin Valley Conference Metro Division champions. That is their first conference championship of any kind for this football program since 2005. That is 16 years at this school without any sort of conference. Of course, Lutheran West recently moving into the CVC. That's an accomplishment, and you got a lot of young pieces you can build around.
And we got something special right there.
Yes, we do. Of why it's not just a game out there. Players, team managers, those people dealing with any sort of disabilities, you see those kind of stories. And make sure we reckon Kowski, number 44, making a play, making a tackle for the team, and you see what Nick means to this community. To have that kind of reception here in this stadium, you know, making a big impact outside, not just inside those four white lines, more so outside of it, and that is why sports has such an extensive reach.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for Perkins, who would have thought coming into today that the winner of this game was going to host next week because Bellevue fell in their matchup. Banks going all the way to the end here. Bellevue, the number 1 seed in Region 14, lost to their 16th seed Chargers team. And you're going to have Perkins is going to go home for their next playoff game. Incredible.
And that is going to feel so good for them next week to be in front of their home fans as Lutheran West already kind of lining up here on the sideline. So with 32 seconds left, expecting to see kneel down or maybe allowing another young player to make a play here, but they will just go into kneel down formation with 32 seconds left. We'll wrap it up here in just a couple seconds as the final snap of the ball game bring in. Now, clock needing to run. Lutheran West should not have to run another play, and AA, you're starting to see that emotion. We've all been there as athletes before. The highest of highs, the lowest of lows. You got to give all the credit. You tip your cap to Perkins coming on the road, taking the hour bus ride here to Rocky River and showing what Perkins Pirates football is all about. But you also feel for the Lutheran West Longhorns because a lot of good moments in the game. Scoreline does not indicate how this game really went as the clock hits triple zeros, and Perkins does get the victory in the opening round of the playoffs in Division 4, Region 14. They are moving on, winning 34-14. We will wrap things up here in just a few moments. AA, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, first off, congrats to Perkins. I mean, they came right in, and they pretty much put in work, from the jump. And when you get big rushing plays early on, you're up and ahead from the jump. And I like what I saw here for this Perkins team. They can go far. In a Region 14 postseason field, we talked about it before, this is a tough field to get out. You have a defending state champion in this region, but again, they're going to have a home game next week as the 16th seed defeats the 1. Meanwhile, again, other than a blemish against Kirtland, this average team named Kirtland, other than that, yeah.
Don't go saying that on CVC TV.
No,
even as a joke.
No,
we might be kicked off the air in just 10 seconds.
No, all good, Kurt. They understand Kirtland is just special, but that's what it is. Other than that, Lutheran West has had an unbelievable season. I like what I saw tonight. I know it didn't show up in the scoreboard. I like what I saw from this team tonight. It's just certain things just did not go their way early on, and they were playing catch-up mode really from midway through the first quarter on. But they got a lot of returning guys coming back. But the seniors that's on this team, they should be proud of what they have built. They should be proud of leading this 8-1 success story. And the appreciation, I see the pride, I see the joy that they have in this community. And kudos to this Lutheran West program. They got something special that's being built here. And I really like where this program is going and can go.
You always see, families kind of getting together after the game and either cheering on their student athletes that are moving on or consoling them after a tough loss. But the connection and how close everyone is, everyone's sticking around from Lutheran West right up here along the fence line, and parents meeting, especially with the senior players, meeting their student athletes right out there on the track and giving them a hug, telling them how proud they are of them, how proud they should be. We've all been there as athletes. It brings a tear to my eye, honestly, to see that. Never gets old. You will always see it for the length of time as sports are around. But tonight, Perkins is the team in Division 4, Region 14 that is moving on, and they go to greet their fans as well. They're all excited on that side. For our team here with CVC TV, can't thank our production crew enough. Our production director, Peter Tellep. Our producer this evening, David Sommerfeld Jr. On cameras, Mike Allen and Jim Wagner. Can't thank them enough for all that they do, making us sound as good as possible, which at least, AA always sounds great.
I thought you was going to say, well, except Double A.
No, Double A always sounded great. I know it's a work down there in the production truck to get my microphone going, so I can't thank them enough. Humbling and honored to work with them every single week. But
we got to share the same booth with Jim and Mike this week.
It was special. This was special to kind of have the team come together a little bit more this week. We'll only be able to go so far in the playoffs, so our season for football will be coming to an end soon as well. But
Jim's like, I can't talk that much.
Jim was concerned, saying we wanted to go on about a lot earlier than normal for our pregame show. Can you guys actually talk for that long? According to my parents, yes, I can talk too long. But that will wrap it up for tonight's action here in Rocky River, Ohio. For the CVC production team, for my broadcast partner this evening, Double A, Anthony Alford. Thank you so much to everyone who has tuned in out there along the ChagrinValleyConference.com and Chagrin Valley Conference YouTube page. I am Kevin Arnold. Your final score this evening, the Perkins Pirates 34, Lutheran West Longhorns 14. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and we'll see you next time right here on the CVC TV Game of the Week, presented by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Good night, everybody.